An organization's driver's training enables you to become an authorized driver for your student organization or any other student organization for 1 year. Is it within your group's mission to lobby state lawmakers about lowering tuition? Then you'll need to go to Salem, where the lawmakers are. How will you get there? Where will you get the vehicle? How do you pay for gas? What happens if your authorized driver leaves the group, and when it's time to return home, you have no one who's authorized to drive? This session will offer basic information on the Oregon University System and Portland State University and SALP policies and procedures around driving as a representative of the university. After the completion of this tutorial, you will understand why you need an authorized driver for travel. You'll understand the importance of following policy procedures while traveling for student organizational business, and you'll understand how to develop a travel plan and set up a successful trip. You cannot drive for the university without being authorized. The students have not always had access to authorization, and not all universities allow students to drive. In 1997, state legislators gave PSU students the privilege to drive cars under the state of Oregon. It wasn't always a right. It was a real accomplishment to gain these privileges. Student activities and leadership programs along with campus recreation developed the PSU driving policy along with frequently asked questions and an emergency accident protocol in order to have a clear understanding of what is expected of our students who drive on behalf of the university. These guidelines and policies give us a framework to show OSU and PSU our accountability to the students and the students' accountability to the university. In addition to the policy manual and FAQ, you must read the Dean of Student Life Code of Conduct, as you will be held to the standard as you represent the university off campus. You must complete this training at least 10 business days before your group hopes to travel. Training includes watching this video, filling out the authorized driver form found in the Student Leader Resource Center or through your advisor, completing the quizzes that will be emailed to you from Alert Driver, reviewing the Travel tab in the Policy Manual section of the Student Leader Resources Center page, and receiving approval of your driving record from the SALP advisor. You will not be approved to drive if you've had a DUI or other traffic crimes within the past 3 years, speeding violations over 21 miles per hour over the speed limit in the last 3 years, or more than 2 moving violations of any kind in the past 3 years. Your advisor has a final approval and intends to approve the records in a cautious manner. It's your responsibility to tell us within 5 business days if your license has been suspended or you have had one of the above major violations. In order to assure that people who are traveling are students and have academic capacity to engage in extracurricular travel, undergraduate students must be registered for 6 or more credits or a minimum 2.5 PSU cumulative GPA. Graduates are required to have 5 or more credits or 3.0 PSU cumulative GPA to travel. Exceptions to GPA requirements may only be made in special cases by the SALP advisor or coordinator on a case-by-case basis. The majority of the organization's team leaders must be in attendance with no fewer than 3 leaders for approval. Overnight retreats must have a university staff or faculty attend as a co-facilitator. Co-facilitator participants must be compiled and submitted to the SALP advisor at least 1 week in advance, with all participants having completed the liability waiver. Per PSU contract with Enterprise, all passengers in an Enterprise vehicle must be over 18 years old. With this vehicle, you are an agent of the state. You are representing every student in the state of Oregon. Remember that you are responsible for your peers, and your peers deserve to be safe. Have a co-pilot who will handle cell phones, map reading, radio adjustment, keep you awake, and distraction-free. Don't speed. Stay in the middle lane whenever it's possible. This gives you more ways to get out of the way should you need to. You will need 1 more driver than the number of vehicles if your trip is more than 4 hours in duration. You need to trade off after 4 hours of driving and have a break of at least 1 hour before you may drive again. There's absolutely no driving between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. as instructed by the Dean of the Student Office. Use common sense and don't park in front of a strip club, liquor store, or any place where people might question state money being used for the visit. Any complaint or traffic violation that is reported to the state are forwarded directly to your advisor. Advisors will revoke privileges after 2 citizen complaints or traffic violations. Parking tickets will eventually work their way back to the person who checked out the vehicle. You are responsible for any parking ticket fees. Tickets cannot be paid with state money. If a traveler cancels or does not attend a portion of the event without prior notification and approval of the student organization or program and SALP advisor or coordinator, they may be required to reimburse the student organization or program up to the total amount spent on their expenses. This sanction and any exceptions shall be determined by the SALP Director of Student Organization of Advising. To use a vehicle for travel for your student organization, you'll need to fill out these forms: the authorized driver form, the driver form, the vehicle form, and the liability waiver. You must fill out a travel proposal a minimum of 20 business days prior to travel to use an enterprise or personal vehicle. Ideally, you want to submit these forms as soon as travel is planned because vehicles may be unavailable on short notice. You'll also need to attach an exact direction, a map, and a travel itinerary to this form. The SALP accountant will make your vehicle reservation. You'll receive an email from your SALP advisor to schedule a meeting to review your vehicle confirmation and gas card checkout date and time. Please plan accordingly. If you're driving a personal vehicle, we must have a copy of your personal insurance coverage and a copy of your vehicle registration attached to the form. You may also come by the SALP office to drop off a copy of these things. Please take a few minutes to review basic travel policies. There are a lot of details, but it's your responsibility to review the policy in its entirety. As an authorized driver, your responsibility is to make sure all participants are present, verify all participants are listed on an official travel roster, that your advisor has an accurate travel roster at all times, respond to minor travel issues such as hotel reservations and vehicle problems. You're also in charge of enforcing driver changes and mandatory rest stops and checking out the gas card and travel bag from the SALP accounting. It's also your responsibility to return the gas card and travel bag to the SALP office within a minimum of 1 business day of your return. In case of an emergency, the first thing to remember is to be safe and stay calm. PSU will back you up as long as you're driving lawfully. Call 911 and Enterprise and your advisory or campus public safety officer immediately. You can find this contact information in your travel confirmation. If you have an accident, make sure you complete a police accident report at the scene. If the officer at the scene does not provide you with an accident report, you can ask the SALP office for one. For any accident, please come see the SALP office coordinator to fill out a PSU incident report. Now that you've completed this portion of the training, please submit the authorized driver form in OrgSync if you haven't already. This will prompt us to set you up with Alert Driving. Look for an email from alertdriving.com. If you don't have one by the end of the day, contact the office coordinator at 503-725-5966. Please review the driving policy manual and all FAQs. The answers to the online quizzes will be found in that material. You must pass both the policy and driving quizzes through alertdriving.com. Once you pass the quizzes, we will receive your motor vehicle request, review your file, and then send you an email regarding your authorized driver status. Make sure to schedule a 30-minute meeting with your advisor to go over your planned trip, forms, itinerary, etc. Make sure to request the gas card for every trip. Take possession of the gas card the day before your trip if that is possible. The earlier the day, the better. Return the card the next business day with all receipts. And be safe.